So, of course, I feel like he's being blackballed by the NFL, and unfortunately, it looks like he may not get another chance. But and I'm not sure if you gentlemen have followed up, but now Jay-Z has kind of he was telling entertainers not to perform at the Super Bowl and things like that, but now he's come to some kind of agreement to do some stuff in football, in the NFL, partnering up with. Did you gentlemen hear about that?
I heard about it. Yes.
Did you feel what was your thoughts about Jay-Z partnering up with the NFL, seeing that how they treated you?
The same way it goes, man. People have to have their freedom of speech, the freedom of doing what they want to do. Mm-hmm. We can't just every time a person do something, we are against it. Let the people. This is my position. If Jay-Z want to partner up with it and buy an NFL team, he earned the right to do that. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't put a lot of energy on that. Our energy should be put on how can we make our community better.
Mm-hmm. And I agree. I feel like people were kind of giving Jay-Z a bad rap. Because I'm one of the people who say I want to see what he does. My best friend asked me about it, and I was like, I want don't just cancel him out. I just say I want to give him a chance to see what he's doing. Because maybe if we have somebody in those rooms, in those meetings, because those are, just to be honest, it's older white men, and I don't feel like they don't care about the issues going on in the African American community.
I have to say this. Now, you got the entertainers, you got the football player, basketball player, and baseball player. They make millions and millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. How many of those dollars are spent in the African American community? Very little. So I'm not going to be watching football and say, okay, well, these people are doing this and doing that, and they bring nothing back to the community. Or across the board. You don't ever come in, they'll go into Buckhead and build up a subdivision in Buckhead of Atlanta to make the white area look better, but you won't see them come to the West End and invest money in the West End. Mm-hmm. Land is land, I don't care where it's at.
And some of them they do it, but like you were saying, very few come back to their community. So that's why I'm hoping with Jay-Z and that maybe he can go in and make a difference. Maybe we'll get more black ownership, and then they can do more things into the community. Because I just feel like honestly that the older men that are the owners of the NFL teams now, they don't even care about the players that's on their team. They don't care if they get hurt, because when they get hurt, they cut them. They don't give them a guaranteed contract. So of course, if they don't care about their own players on their teams right now, they're not going to care about going into our community, because they never have to worry about living that way.
To me, it's like a modern day gladiator. The Europeans sit out there and have fun, pay the people, watch them dance, and hurt each other. So that's my position on sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what would it be like if the athletes, entertainers, and all that got together, right, and said, we're going to start a chain of supermarkets, so we could have some dignity when we know we just had our own grocery stores.
That would be something big. Like, it would help our communities.
Right. I mean, that's what people do to go and make money like that. They come back and make jobs and do things in that community. I'm hoping that, I'm not saying that all of them not doing it, but they got to start looking at why can't we have a chain of grocery store with a name on it that we put on it.
Absolutely.
Right. And we brand that instead of us going into somebody else's brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, we'll wear Gucci and all this other stuff, designer stuff, and something like just like Gucci people when they had the blackface, and we started boycotting them. Like you see entertainers boycotting them for like a few months, and then after that they went back to wearing it again. Yes. So it's like, what are we doing? Like, why are we still invested in them when they showed us like how much they care about us? They don't value our lives. They don't care about stuff that our ancestors went through. They still do it, and then the entertainers still go out and still buy.
Brother, it's going to take the grassroots people like all of us in this room to change African America. Right. They're not going to change it. Mm-hmm. They take people like us to change this. It only take a few. It don't take the many. It take a few to change it.
I want to talk about another entertainer, and I actually saw when you gentlemen had posted on your True Laundry Detergent page, Nipsey Hussle. He passed away. Unfortunately, he was in his own neighborhood in Slauson, Crenshaw Slauson. He was gunned down by another, I believe, gang member. But he was somebody that invested in his community. He wanted to provide opportunities. And are you ever familiar with Nipsey? Yeah, that was one of the first entertainers that it really bothered me, because I look at him and the things that he was doing for his community and putting people in position. And he was all about ownership from the get-go, and owning the rights to your music, because when you sign these deals, these labels have your music, and he was saying how basically you slaving for them because they're making all this money off of you when you put in all the work. So he was somebody that valued ownership and valued his community. He went back and bought the block, the corner where he used to hustle in. But Nipsey was one of those guys. How did they affect you hearing about his passing and the thing? How did they feel to see the stuff that he was doing for his community?
Well, it goes back to the great ones, even before Nipsey and all the rest of them. We've been calling on people, and God has sent us people to show what we can do. Like Booker T, Marcus, all the great ones, Elijah Muhammad. He was way out in front for economic dignity, the land that we bought from a few. We have the numbers. Our problem is not the money. We just don't know who we are. That's why we don't love ourselves, and that's why we don't merge. See, when we get we can operate on us and take that poison, that hate from one another. See, that's the problem. We still suffer. Where you from? What city you from? What school you went to? See, we on the outside too much. We looking at what kind of car you got, what kind of shoes, see, we physical and don't know that we just energy here in this universe. Not so much this body. Body is about 2% of it. But we think we the big mandingo. And, we strong, but we are strong in the ring and in football and all that physical stuff, but we don't produce nothing. Yes, that's our problem. We have good examples in people before when they build their own colleges all over America. Okay? And farm and school, but right now we have to go back to the basics, like Elijah Muhammad taught us: food, clothing, and shelter, to get dignity and get respect. See, when you have your own, people respect you. They're not just coming in your city and shoot young people down because you have enough power now to pay for your own police chief and bring him in your community. You pay for your mayor. Will you make sure this problem don't go wrong? We don't have it yet. We got the numbers. If we can bring the money together, the entertainers, the football players, like my partner is saying, and the boxers and all of them that making the millions and billions, they have to come and support people like us. Then you'll see a better change taking place in the community. We can have manufacturers all over America and employing people, bringing in new products, our own supermarkets. Until we get it like that, we always going to be looked at as inferior people. And people going to laugh at us because we spend our money just to look good and party the weekend.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like what Nipsey was doing out in California, because he was inspiring a lot of young people out there. So,
absolutely.
Yes.
I tell you, one other thing I liked about him too is that he didn't run the operation by himself. He had his family involved, and so it still can be done now that he passed away, right? They still be able to.
They still doing some things now.
Yeah, they still doing some things that we don't plan on selling true, because what we're going to do is leave a company around that'll be around for a long period of time, like a Procter & Gamble. Right, that's an institution, and it creates generational wealth and generational employment, and it just it creates other small businesses around it.
And I think that was so big because he, like you said, trying to create generational wealth. It's just a sad thing that somebody from his own neighborhood, somewhere where he grew up and he was like a beloved figure, he felt comfortable in his own neighborhood. Yeah. That's why he didn't walk around with a lot of people, because he was home. This was where he felt like he belonged and he loved there, but then somebody comes into his own community and guns him down. It's like we have to stop, like you saying, going against each other, supporting each other instead of killing one another.
Yeah, you just brought up something beautiful that other entertainers can look at. Athletes also, right? Is that he didn't separate, even though he went out and got the money, right? He never separated himself from his community or his people.
Yeah, Absolutely.
See, that's why he felt comfortable in building businesses in his own community.
And a lot of them feel like they got to make the money and then go away, and then that's what it seems like. Dang man, you were just here with us. You came over with us, and now that you got money, you feel like you're better than us. You left us hanging. You forgot where you came from. So a lot of them feel that way. But I would definitely love to see more entertainers, come back home. And it's not saying you have to walk around like you the man and show off in front of those people. You can still come back with security and have people right, but just to be able to come back in and pour money into your community and buildings and create opportunities, I think that's absolutely.
Don't separate yourself from your people and your community.
Absolutely.
You want people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's key, champ. Building opportunities. That's what we have here. We're not people just doing this to look good and just show off.
Yes, sir.
We are making jobs for people, and we want to spread it out all over America. That's why we're asking for distributors to come with us. We'll show you how to make more money in one day than you're making on these jobs by the week. I'm not saying that we are 100% ready now, but we are in process of showing people how to make more money in one day than you make a whole week. And set up your own business and bring in your own products and put your brand name on them. It's time out for all that poverty. That's what caused a lot of hate and jealousy among us and killing. It's about the money. We're poverty-thinking people. That's why we kill one another over the terrain and drug problem. You in my territory, and they come and kill you.
What would you tell our people to invest in today? Of course, our own support. We definitely support each other. But what other things would you tell our people to invest in?
Invest in the things that your community needs. Anything your community uses every day, invest in it.
That's a good point.
Because you got an open market right there. Anything that your community use and need every day, invest in it.
Invest in the necessities, man, that people use. Use often,
Yes.
That'd be a good way for us to have a conversation.
Because that's what we did. We looked at the laundry detergent, and we said, "Oh, laundry detergent people can use laundry. They have to use it every week." So there was a need. There's a need. So that's how we got into the laundry detergent.
Now, and the other investment, our people have to invest in themselves. You have to read, man.
Absolutely.
Okay? You have to find out who you are and know how to run your mind. That's the problem we still have, man. We too much on the outside, very emotional people. The best investment for a man or woman that want to go in business is self-improvement. That's the biggest room in the world. The room for improvement. You have to grow. You can't stay the same. You got to keep growing.
I read a quote, and one of my friends posted it, a powerful quote. He said that old slaves were killed if they read, but new slaves, he said old slaves would get killed if they read, but new slaves won't read even if it killed them.
That's true.
And that's he hit the nail on the head. People nowadays, we do not read, and we definitely, like you said, the self-investment is the best investment.
That's right.
Which is was tied into my next question with one of the books I was recently reading was History of the Black Dollar, and one of the stories it was talking about was Black Wall Street. And back then, Black Wall Street, like we had doctors, lawyers, we had our own stores, like everything that we had, and we had a couple of gentlemen that they had land and they sold it to our people. They made sure they sold it to our people. Do you feel like we will ever get back to a point where we can have somewhat of a Black Wall Street?
It's coming. It's coming. Quickly.
Yes.
And Black Wall Street really is not just one city.
Right.
Like here in Atlanta, they used to have, I think it's Auburn Avenue.
Right.
That was the Black Wall Street of Atlanta.
Right.
Where African Americans had the nightclubs, they had the bars, they had everything, grocery stores, barbershops and everything. So when they did the integration and they went out to the suburbs. They left their community. And I'm sure in your city it's the same thing all across the country. At one time, because if you couldn't go shop with the European, what do you have to do? You had to set up your own.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yes.
see, like Wall Street, then the way you explain it, right, is not a place, it's a
No,
concept.
It's a concept.
Right, it's
Yeah.
a concept of doing for self and buying from self.
But within a place.
Yeah, I was gonna say in this book he was talking about Black Wall Street took place in Oklahoma.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yes, yes, yes.
And the gentleman, he was accused of raping a white lady
Yes.
when he really didn't do it.
Right, and that's all was employed because they wanted to take. The money was getting too powerful.
Mm-hmm.
They were
It's just
threat.
like I'm gonna have to say this. It's just like watermelons. When when slavery ended, watermelon became a #1 source of income for ex-slaves, and they seen the ex-slave making a lot of money building their own houses, selling watermelon. So what they did was they put all these negative images of African Americans eating watermelon and killed the spirit of eating and growing watermelons.
Mm-hmm.
So they always gonna come up with a ploy to take you down. And we just have to know the schemes of Satan. Yes.
Something else I want to ask you, Jim, about, of course, we're under new presidency now. While we're here, we're almost finished, we'll wrap it up short. I want to ask you, gentlemen, about when I was in high school, President Obama was in office. Do you gentlemen feel like when he was in office, he did enough for African Americans, or he just did what they would allow him to do when he was in that position?
I think what he did for us, right, is created, and this is all by the grace of God, that our image as a people, right, was what we got more out of that than anything, right? I don't want to just say Obama didn't do anything for us, the president, right? Do you know any other president did anything for us?
Not really. People like to say Lincoln freed the slaves, but at the same time, when he freed them, like slave owners, they still had some sort of reparations.
Lincoln, the whole idea was, but the whole idea behind the Civil War was to unite the country. It wasn't about freeing us, right? We just was in that mix.
Right.
See, it was about the Union separating, right? The South becoming one part, and the North becoming another part, right? So the whole idea was that we got to fight for the right to bring unity, right? That was the real deal, right? Because if it was about freeing us, right, why was we treated so bad after?
That's true. Very cool.
Well, what it showed the African American people, our network is our big power. We have the numbers now. We're close to 50 million people. That's why he won. 97% of black folk vote for him. Now the other part was, yeah, you got numbers, but you don't have the economic power. See, if you had economic power, he would did more for you, but that's what his job would do. He did a lot for the banks and the car manufacturer. That's what put up most of the money.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the power that we have is in the numbers right now in the 21st century. We got big numbers compared to 50 years ago, man, when it was 20 million. You're close to 50 million people. That's just like this laundry detergent. It don't take but 1 million people to send us $15.
Yes, sir.
And that shouldn't be too hard to do. You gotta wash clothes. All my people washing clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you love yourself, man, and if you love yourself, you'll love your people. You'll stop buying laundry detergent from any other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no excuse for you still just running and buying that, and you know this laundry detergent has been tested now for all these many years. Why you still, what is the reason? Why can't you buy your own? Why shouldn't you buy your own?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you one of the things that I just thought about when you asked the question about Obama, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that he did do for us, right, that we're not using now, is that he allowed this thing to pass called equity crowdfunding, which means that you can crowdfund, right, and people become an equity partner in your business, right? Which means that we can pool our resources, we build businesses like that, right? As opposed to going on Wall Street, right, and going through all the things you have to go through in order to raise funds, right? So I think that was one of the greatest things that came from Obama that would help us that we started using. You know, just take a chance to look it up, called equity crowdfunding.
And I think the #1 thing he did, because African American, they still want somebody to hand them something. We gotta get away from that. There's no president will solve your problem.
That's true.
So, what I think the #1 thing he did, he raised the spirit of African American people. Because they said, okay, well, the president, he's a black man, and his name wasn't Charlie Jones. His name was Barack Hussein Obama. Now, that's an African name all the way around. So now we see this and we say, wow, but it helps the spirit of the African American across the board, whether they realize it or not. It helped that spirit.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this, right? I voted before I left, right, and I was in Thailand. On November 8th, right? When he was elected, right? I got up the next morning after Obama was elected, right, walking down the street in Thailand, and this is what the people said. Obama, my skin, Obama.
Yeah.
So you can see from that right there, it raised us up from just singers and dancers and all that right to a different level.
Yes. How?
And I try to, with this platform that we have, we try to promote entrepreneurship and show people that look like us, that you don't necessarily have to be an actor or entertainer. I mean, an entertainer or athlete to be somebody and create your own and provide for your people. You can be an entrepreneur like you, Jim, and stuff that we're doing. Like, you don't have to be an athlete or entertainer to always be somebody and be a celebrity or something like that. It's because to me, this means more for us that we're creating our own, like you said, our own ownership and our own opportunities. But and I'll tell you this as well, these gentlemen, just the last two interviews we had Mr. Johnny Sizemore and Carrie Greer. They write plays, and then we had Miss Sulandia Hammond. She writes plays as well, and she said one of the things, and it's true with our community, is when we try to support each other, we always look for stuff cheap or free, and we always say that stuff is too high. We always want a discount, but we have to get out of that mindset of not supporting each other. We need to support.
Okay. Now, because sometimes with quality, now we shouldn't produce a product that's not quality.
Absolutely.
Just to get the money from our people. We have to have the best. Not saying that we have to be better than other people, but if you're going to put a product on the market, make sure it's good quality.
Absolutely.
Our people should demand that of us, and we should make sure we give them good quality products.
And the other thing she said was that a lot of times people think when it's black owned, it lacks quality just because it's black owned.
That's that slavery mentality.
Right.
The ghost of slavery. Yes. Mr. Charlie ice cream is a little bit colder than Mr. Johnson ice cream.
Right, absolutely. And it's not that case just because it's black owned, it doesn't lack the quality. So sometimes our people, even though we have the same product, it can be the same exact product, but just because of the name on it, we'll go get it from them instead of our people. That's another one of the issues we have. But I got a couple more questions. We'll wrap it up. Next year is election time again. If President Trump ends up winning the election again, which for some reason I have a gut feeling that he will. I don't know why. It's a long time between then till then. But if he wins again, gets reelected, what should our people do?
Business as usual.
Yeah, and remember, America is owned by the creator, not the president. Keep get knowledge of the creator's knowledge of yourself. No one can stop you. Nothing greater than you. God created you. Damn the president. Because if he's not a balanced person, God gonna take care of him. He not gonna get away for things he's saying and he's doing. No. And one thing, any person that make mistakes and say bad things and you don't want to ask for forgiveness, something wrong with your mind. You like an enemy. That's games of Satan, like my partner is saying. You're not good for your people, good for nobody. Everybody make mistakes, but clean it up. He say some bad things, go ask for forgiveness. But he said no, he don't want to forgive. And I don't, when you see the 5 brothers they put in jail up there in New York, he wanted them to,
Yeah. Took out a front page, a whole page ad, New York Times condemning them, paid for the ad. So this man, he's a man, but he don't stop anything.
Nah.
You think the Chinese people worry about Obama Trump become, their program will keep going. Russia, their program will keep, whether Trump in the office or not. That's the way we gotta be. If Trump be back in there, we gotta keep going. if they let somebody else in there, we got to keep going. We can't back up now.
You can't rely on the government
No.
to take care of us.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, and that was one of the things my uncle told me growing up was, I remember him saying was that one of the issues was a lot of times when the government is taking care of us and giving us food stamps and house, Section 8 and stuff, like people feel like, man, if I'm out working and the government is giving me all this, what do I need to work for? So
exactly.
that's kind of what kind of hinders us because the government, and we feel like we don't need to work, and we're good just because we're getting free money, we're getting free handouts.
It destroys its self-esteem, like I believe you talking a while ago. It gives us a spirit, and when we do these things for ourselves.
Yes, sir. Just a couple more questions, we'll wrap it up. What other business ventures should we expect from you gentlemen going forward?
Products. We can expect some more products. But we're going to stay in the line of household products. Laundry detergent, we came out with a free and clear. This is our first product, which is our ankle. This is the one with the blue. Now we have a free and clear. So we came out with this one. So next one we have coming out, God willing, the end of September, we have fabric softener. Cottonseed based fabric softener, only one on the market.
Amazing. Final question for you gentlemen. What is your ultimate goal? And I'll let all of
It's to build a business that's an institution that will create generational wealth and that will be here long after we're gone. And not to sell out, just to gain the support of our people, to help so that they can be a part of building it and watch the next generation take over.
Yes, it's to be able to help my people use more of their own potential that God help bring that out. We have a problem with just looking at success as being a physical thing. I don't feel good unless I'm helping somebody else come it up. Okay? I'm dedicated to try to turn a person on. All of us got unlimited power, but we only using a small percentage of it, of our mind power, very small. Even when they did the research on Einstein, one of the greatest scientists of the 20th century, he only used about 5–10% of his mind power. Okay, and then we put too much of self-imposed limitation on ourselves. There's no limit, man. It's not like we said earlier, the government, the president, they can't stop what God wants for you. Okay? I want to see more people use more of their own power in this country, especially the African American people. I love all people, but I like to see my people get more stronger in the black community. We can have more peace and stop all this trauma, this stealing and hating and killing. You take your neighborhood and make it the best neighborhood. Okay, but you can't do it unless you know yourself and love yourself. So we also will be producing books and movies on stuff like that to wake the people up. All right?
Looking forward to it.
I would like to be working on helping younger people establish their business also. Now, they see three young, older men working together. So, wow, we can work, give them inspiration, but they can work together.
That's right.
And all they do is just you can't work with everybody. You just have to get the people that you feel comfortable working with. And work with those people.
Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Muhammad, Salim, and Raheem, thank you guys for this interview. I enjoyed the history lesson. I really appreciate it. It's been an honor sitting with you gentlemen, learning about your laundry detergent, your business endeavors, the history lesson, because I knew you gentlemen grew up and you've seen so much in your time.
Yeah.
So it's just an honor and a blessing to still be able to sit with you guys today and hear some of these stories, because man, it's inspiring. It makes, of course, we already wanted to invest in ourselves and our people, but now hearing your story and how you gentlemen band together, it's really been an honor. Oh, one other question though. When you talk about Dr. King and how he integration and everything, did you get a sense of he got any kind of pushback back then because he wanted us to be equal?
I wasn't living back. I was born in '59,
Okay.
so that was kind of like a little bit on the end of my time. So I can't really speak on that, but I
Okay.
can see that most of the people were with that. From what I see from history, and most of the people was before Dr. King. There was a few people that didn't want him to integrate. Those was the best of our minds. The one who wanted him to integrate, we should never integrate.
Good point. Dr. King admit that before he passed. Okay. And Dr. King was real close to Muhammad Ali and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Okay. And he talked against the war of Vietnam. He admit he fought hard for us to eat in the European man restaurant. But it's been better off to teach us how to have our own.
Right.
We ain't got one. I don't care about it. Right? But the other part though, he said before he passed, he knew he integrated us in a house that was on fire, was burning. What he meant was the morals of this country dropped so bad, and the killing and the hate they have done to other people. He was a man of knowledge. I respect him. He was another call that we called for. We needed saviors. We needed some help, man. And your mama, your grandma, all these people was praying and asking God, and he was one of the ones too that God sent to us. But you see how the country went down in morals right here in Atlanta. Atlanta not the same place. When I came here in 1985, 86, I laughed at the people here in Atlanta. Menard Jackson, Herman Russell, some of the great historians. But Atlanta now is known for perverted town. It's headquarters for the perverted people. That's not what these guys were standing for, man. They wanted dignity. They want their people to come up. So King was one of the greatest of our people, but he knew that we was gonna catch hell again. Even though we go to school with this man, we eat with him now on his bus and all that. But that didn't help us. Look at the condition we in now in Atlanta. We don't have one big supermarket. How many millions of black folks live here in this city? How many people be in some churches on a Sunday? 3,000 over here, 4,000 over here. And they run to white folks to eat, haul up in their places. Okay? Like we can't do nothing for ourselves. That hurt us.
I think that
You can leave her.
I think that Dr. King understood one thing, right? That it was all about us treating people right, not becoming what we was fighting against, right? Not becoming hating people because of the skin, color of their skin and all that, right? And I think that one of the things that, like Ali was saying, like he was talking to Malcolm, he was talking to Elijah Muhammad, right? And see the unity, talking about bringing us together as a people, right? And any time you start doing that, you're going to have trouble. Because divide and conquer is a lot of people that brought us into this situation. But we don't do for ourselves, right? And you don't do for yourself because it's a divide and conquer spirit that's being put into people.
Mom, this will be my final question. I apologize. I enjoy sitting with you, Jim, and just hearing your story. But after Dr. King passed, how was that move in our community, African American community, when we found out he was being murdered? Was it like a somber mood, or did people just rally even harder? Or how was that mood, if you remember, how the community was?
Well, I just remember it as being people with very sad people because of his leadership, right, and his ability to bring people together.
Yeah.
So that hurt our people very bad.
It did. That was in 1968. Dr. King, man, just before that they killed Martin. It was a revolutionary time. I was in Vietnam. You could imagine being in the jungles, walking, looking for somebody to kill. And then they was doing the riots happening in Newark and Detroit during that time. You heard of the riots in the inner cities. Now, you had black men living in the jungles looking for somebody to kill, and they was killing your people down in the city of Newark and Harlem and Detroit. So that was a double cross for me. I felt that I was double crossed. I'm looking at an Ebony magazine. On the front page, I saw the National Guard with a shotgun on Springfield Avenue, okay? and I saw a black lady laying down. This man had a cigar in his mouth. Those scenes never left my mind. A little further up, I saw a black kid laying down. National Guard just killing. All the people was doing is running in, picking up some food or some beer and stuff like that, but just shot him down and killed him. They brought the big tanks up to the projects that I was living in, shot up the place. They put terror in the people. Okay, that's what you see why black folks didn't mind dying back then. See, the revolutionary was strong. That's why it took people like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And like what my partner said, the people need to look at him a little more instead of looking at even Malcolm was a great leader too, but it wouldn't have been no Malcolm or Muhammad Ali, Farrakhan, wasn't for this little man Elijah. Okay, and you have to recognize, man, and put your energy in the people who love you now. So we carry that energy that he passed on to us. It's in us now. So that's why we want people to come to us. And even if you're not buying the laundry detergent, then there's a reason why. You gotta wash clothes. Search your heart and say what these brothers here doing ain't nothing greater than this. Let's back this. We back in our history, we back in our own kind.
More quick. Who did people gravitate more towards you that you could tell between Malcolm X and Martin Luther King during that time? Who did our people kind of gravitate more to?
Malcolm it was great. Dr. King, it's like a modern day prophet out there. Okay, but that's a man was in touch with the Creator when he speak. His words and things he taught black folks come from on high. He wasn't an ordinary guy. He was in tune. He was tapped in, tuned in to the Creator when you hear the words of Dr. King. Okay? And Malcolm was the same way, but King taught. He did touch more people. And just like the other great ones out there, all those people that we prayed for, and God sent us somebody. Like he sent the Jews, they sent Moses to them.
But I'd like to say this. A tree is known by the fruit it bears. Now, I came from the school of Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. Now, so what I'm saying is that the people that King led, those people failed. They failed him. What they doing now, because they should have been taking up the mantle and followed and kept going what he did, kept it going.
Right.
They dropped it.
They dropped it.
A lot of them went after politics, fame, and everything else. They dropped the mantle.
I agree 100% with that, because I liked that his young son, after King died, his son give a speech, and his son say, I want to build an army. And the reason why I want to build an army in the black community, I want to destroy poverty. I said, I'm down with that. But now look, he dropped the ball. You don't hear him no more.
Yeah.
You're right. See, we need people like that now. That's what we're trying to do, build an army. Destroy this hate, man, and this poverty. But we can live a better life in our own family life. We the one that got us going. There's more out there in other cities like us too. But we want people, man, to go on the website, man, and buy the laundry detergent. Go to We Buy Black. Go to thetrueproduct.com and purchase the product. You see better leaders in your community. Leaders is coming up in Atlanta. When We Buy Black, the young leader who have that right now, he's here with us, okay? We are dedicated to bring out the best out of people. We want our people to grow, to use more of their power that God gives you. Muhammad Ali was the same way. Dr. King was the same way. Elijah Muhammad the same way. They gone, but we still here living.
Yes,
so you got to tell the people over and over, man, buy that laundry detergent. Come become a distributor with these guys. They'll show you how to do it.
Yes, sir.
Right, and go on We Buy Black and you can buy shampoo boxes, the laundry detergent, buy your toothbrush.
Yes.
That's made by your own people. There's a lot of products on there that you can buy. It's made by us.
Yes, sir.
And we circulating that money is providing jobs in our community. We just like anybody else. If you buy from us, we got a business right, we don't have our own kind. Everybody does that.
There's nothing racist about it.
Yeah.
Right, so we have to stick together, like you said. I actually saw, like I was saying, with Killer Mike, and thank you to Killer Mike for bringing it out. Trigger Warning, it was the first episode where he was only dealing with black owners. So if there's anybody If a car wasn't made by somebody black or anything, or a bike or whatever it was, transportation, food, it had to be black owned. And that was one of the first episodes, and that's how I found out about WeBuyBlack.com and a lot of those websites.
Yeah, and see what triggered Mike, if a lot of the other entertainers would do the same thing, support and talk about black businesses, right? That would give us more support, because it's our people that support them. It's our people going to see their movies. It's our people that's buying their music, right? It's our people watching them play sport. So they, like Killer Mike is a good example of shouting out the businesses, right? Getting other people to support the business, and other entertainers should follow.
I appreciate Killer Mike, David Banner. Those are two definitely.
Taraji P.
Henson. I love one of my favorite journalists is Charlamagne the God. He'll post t-shirts from WeBuyBlack.com. I always like BlackSportsOnline.com. That's where I started doing some of my writing. It's another website that supports black business and gives black journalists a platform. So it's so many platforms and entrepreneurs that we need to invest in ourselves and our people that will definitely make a big difference.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. We had Sarah Silverman, Jada Pinkett, Taraji P. Henson, Killer Mike. All of those people have bought the Detergent Man and put it on their social media.
Yes, sir.
So that's a great blessing.
Yes, sir. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I want to thank you gentlemen again, because it's been an honor and pleasure. Thank you for the history lesson. Thank you for the laundry detergent. Thank you for everything that you've done for us. Thank you for allowing us to just be here and sit with you gentlemen.
Thank you for coming to visit us.
Yes, sir. It was more than an honor and a privilege. I enjoyed it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And real quick before we get out of here, can you tell everyone again how to find all your products?
You can thetrueproducts.com, and
We Buy Black.
and if you like to, if you want them Amazon people, you can go on Amazon and buy it if you have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you can buy it off Amazon.com also.
So, well, thank you, gentlemen, again. I appreciate it. It's been an honor and a privilege to sit with you, gentlemen. Also, thank you again to my family, Marcus Brunette at HGV for helping us out today, and also Miss Charlene Davis and Charlene's Home Cooking back in Spartanburg, South Carolina. So if you gentlemen ever make your way back that way, make sure to stop by Charlene's Home Cooking. It's some of the best home cooking you'll have. So thank you again for being a sponsor. Hope everybody enjoyed this lesson, and remember to support black businesses, because we definitely need to invest our money back into our communities and each other. So until next time, keep chasing your dreams. It's a Cross the Line Podcast. Thank you for listening.
Abdul Rahim.
Ali Mohammed.
Malik Salim, and you've been watching Cross the Line Podcast.